Welcome back to Cinema Corner. I'm Blake, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Alex and Josh.
And we're back again to review the films that we were assigned roughly about a month ago. Just a brief recap. I was assigned We Need to Talk About Kevin by Josh.
That's a good one.
I assigned Violent Night to Blake. And then Blake, what did you assign Josh again?
Chef.
Chef, that's right. Yes, Chef. Cool. Well, we're here to talk about them briefly and give our reviews and ratings. And then after that, we can assign new ones. So who wants to go first?
We'll talk
Alex,
about the word
thoughts?
talk, Alex. We need to talk about Kevin.
Oh, man. Where to start on this fucking movie? I took notes down too, just because of just how wild this movie is. Okay, so we need to talk about Kevin. I think this came out in 2011. Basically, it's a story of a psychopath. Pretty fitting considering it's Ezra Miller. So,
Their best role.
it is their best role for sure. Some may say it's a little too good, Austin Butler, you know how like he took the role of Elvis and he kind of kept like that accent. Well, a part of Kevin still it's definitely still in Ezra Miller. So shout out him, them. So yeah, this movie is
You get
chaotic.
three. You get three of those until you're out. That's one.
Okay, sorry, sir.
Oh.
Okay, so this movie is a lot because it's okay. So it starts basically in the middle of the story, timeline wise, and then it kind of goes back and forth between the past and then the future.
Similar to Ezra Miller's best movie, The Flash. Time jumping.
Yeah.
Sure. You got Tilda Swinton in there as the mom, John C. Reilly in there as a dad who refuses to see anything bad about his kid, and let's just say that from the minute that Ezra Miller's character Kevin is born, because we go all the way back to that point in the story, he's a menace. He straight up is a menace to his mom. It's on one, like, fuck you. That's pretty much his mentality to his mom. And he kept that energy the entire time. Some of the instances here, which I wrote down, right?
He wasn't fucking with mom.
Nah. Yeah, he so when he's a kid, right? When he's a kid and he has to wear diapers, right?
Mhm.
He takes a shit. She cleans it up. He takes a shit again immediately after, just as an extra, like fuck you to her, right? When he's a baby, like even younger, he's crying the entire time that she's holding him, and the minute that he goes to the dad, nothing, just normal baby. All right, So you knew it was going to be that kind of film. Let's see, just some of the other things he did briefly. He destroys her office area. He just absolutely destroys it for no fucking reason. Let's see. Ezra Miller time now. So Ezra Miller isn't even really in this film all that much up until I want to say a little bit halfway into it. Then you start to see more of him because it really goes back in time. You really go all the way back, and you spend a lot of time with the 8 to 9 year old version of Kevin, who is a fucking menace. And then once you get to Ezra Miller's, it's a little more reserved, but it's still, he's still on that timing. So much so that he's caught jerking his meat. He's caught by his mom. And instead of doing the normal thing, right, where most people are like, oh shit, just hide or just try to ignore it, de-escalate it. Or the mom even just fucking running out the room, he proceeds to stare at her as he continues to do it. So that was wild. That was wild. And let's see. Basically, just to sum it up, he has psychopathic tendencies throughout the entire film. and it just finally escalates to the point where on Christmas he gets a bow and arrow, and he buys himself some bike locks. He goes to his school. He's in high school now. He puts those bike locks on the door, and let's just say he took a class in the Hawkeye aiming school. He's just letting them fly, and yeah, he pretty much kills a bunch of people at a pep rally, and yeah, two years pass by, and as this movie's kind of jumping back and forth, you see like the perspective of the mom and how her life has been since then, and yeah, it's really depressing in terms of her story. Honestly, I gotta say the performances were pretty good for the most part. Ezra Miller was a little iffy, but and I think the kid version of him was way too much. Like it feels like almost too much. And by the time you get to Ezra Miller, it feels like he kind of calmed down a bit, which is a lot considering it's Ezra Miller. So I wonder what they were doing there. But anyways, it just ends with her pretty much coming to terms with it. And I mean, sorry, I forgot to mention, not only does he kill the people at the school, he kills the dad and his sister, who throughout the film is, he did not like her either. She had to get a glass eye at one point. They don't make it. So it's just a mom, and life for her sucks. And her only living family member is her son, who's in jail and who's about to be transferred to like the max security one, since he's about to turn 18. And that's how it ends, really, where she asks him why did he do it, and he's like, he doesn't really even know. And then she like gets up, and you think she's about to like hit him again or do something, and she just hugs him and walks away. So yeah, I mean, it was. I genuinely thought, just by looking at like the poster when you first told me this, that it was going to be like a terrible movie. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't anything like. It says that it's a 75% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know if it's even that good. I'll give it, if I'm going to give my rating here, I'll probably give it like a 6.1 out of 10. The performances were good. The way the film was shot was good. I'm not a big fan of having to jump back and forth in time, and sometimes like you go to the past and you just jump to the future, and it's just like, it's a lot at certain points. But I guess that's what they were going for, considering it's a chaotic film within itself. So it's fine. It's a 6.1, but that's what I'm gonna give it. But they were on one. That's all I got to tell you that about this film. They were on one.
It's hey, I'll take it. I told you it wasn't going to be a bad movie.
Yeah,
but I
it was
got
an
my word.
experience for you.
It's an experience. I think always what I thought was funny was the fact that he used a bow and arrow. Like that's what I thought was just the funniest part about it, was
that's what I'm saying, dude. He was a psychopath.
Dropping fools. Okay, I'll take that.
Who wants to go next?
I guess I will go next. I was given Chef, a movie that I've heard people talk about plenty of times. Seen people talk about it plenty of times. And, I just will start off right off the bat and say I was a little disappointed. I thought it was underwhelming. I would say definitely it hits you in the beginning. The strength of this movie is definitely its food shots. 100%. It's definitely good with the cooking side of things. Definitely keeps long going shots, whether the actual actors making the food or not. They like their long, just consistent acted out shots throughout this movie, which definitely added to like the cinematography of the film. It made it nice. However, I don't know. The story was okay. It's more of just not what I was expecting this film to be, like just an overall kind of like, it gave me like a wholesome, mature Disney film vibe. That's how I describe it. It had just a story where the main character has just a very slight conflict and then everything goes right for him for the rest of the film. There's really just after just the immediate beginning of a critic being mad at him and giving a rough rating, and then him just kind of having the freak out, it really just, there's no more any serious conflict for the rest of the movie. So it was kind of weird to watch a film like that again. It's been a long time. Still was good. I mean, the acting was great. I mean, it definitely takes you back that this motherfucker. I was expecting like Jennifer Lopez to pop out because he just somehow has like the hottest exes of all time. It's just kind of crazy. I don't know. Dude apparently could pull everybody. It was ridiculous. So that was interesting. And then a random just Robert Downey Jr. appearance. That was like, okay, he's here. He's there for about 5 minutes. Makes you feel uncomfortable. It's a little funny. And then he's gone for the rest of the film. So that was okay. I'd say also another big strength of this was kind of the communication between characters definitely felt authentic. The kitchen environment, how everyone was talking to each other, their reactions to each other, especially Chef and Martin. Those two I thought definitely were the best. I mean, every time he would make a comment when he was on a phone call, it definitely just felt like it was a close buddy of his. So that was fun. Otherwise, it was, I don't know, not much to write home about in my opinion. I find it interesting that this film seems to be really talked about a lot from at least in my TikTok environment, because I thought it was just okay. I definitely think in terms of like cooking movies, I can't remember off the top of my head, but the one that Blake, you and I watched with Bradley Cooper, I think that one is much leagues above this one. So
this guy sucks. This guy sucks. What are you talking about?
That's what I believe.
This guy sucks.
I just don't think this movie was the crazy good. I think it's all right.
Yeah, I agree. The story is whatever. It's the actual cooking of this movie that is far superior to anything ever. It is so much better. The actual cooking, the length they actually show of them cooking, is so much better than like somebody just putting something in like a saute pan and like flipping it once and they're like, there you go, he's a great chef. Like this movie has so many good cooking like shots and focused on the food, which is what a food movie should be. It's like the story's whatever, sure, but the chemistry between the actors is phenomenal and the actual cooking is phenomenal. So that alone puts it way above any cooking movie.
Hey, listen, this is my opinion, Mr.
Your
Blake.
opinion sucks.
And I would say that I just think it's all right. Yeah, it has strong cooking shots, but I think the story just being quite lackluster made it kind of dull. So, especially as the movie progressed, it's like, okay, I've seen enough of these great looking shots. Give me something. Give me any kind of just extra conflict to keep the story going. And it's like, yeah, everything just kept going great. So with that, for the rating, I'll give it like a 5.8 out of 10. I'd say it's okay. I don't think I would ever watch it again. Yeah.
Damn. Wow. Okay. Blake, I know you need time to process that one, so take your time.
That's crazy. Yeah, I had Violent Night. Just super forgettable movie. This was Renfield in a different font. Would never revisit this movie again. I don't know if the writing was worse or the acting. Just terrible. Both of those two. Even the action scenes were just mid. Nothing ever stood out. A lot of just stupid scenes to me that I was like, this random lady just grabbed an icicle and had enough power to jam it into a guy's throat to kill him. I was like, okay, sure, that makes sense. So yeah, super forgettable. Like I said, I think an AI must have wrote the dialogue for this movie because it was just so cringy and horrible. Yeah, extremely forgettable. Just like a 4.8 out of 10. Would never revisit this movie. Just will not remember this movie again.
I'm revisiting it every Christmas, so I don't know what you're talking about.
It's an Alex movie. It is an Alex
movie. The acting was horrible, and then the writing was even worse, which was saying something. When the child actor probably outacted other people, you have an issue in your movie. Because the child actor should always be the weakest link. And it's not like the child actor was phenomenal. It was just the adults were that bad that I was like, this is like, it was like that the Scooby Doo he's right behind me type like writing. You know what I mean? It was just like, it's about to be a bad Christmas. I'm Mr. Scrooge and stuff. It was like, okay, bud, we get it.
They were leaning into the Christmas cringe. Okay, relax.
They cringed. They made a lot of cringe.
Guys, we're all. Hey, man, you can have your opinion without insulting.
It was terrible.
That's fine.
I was actively thinking during that movie. I was like, this might be one of the worst movies that I've ever seen. It was right there. I was like, this.
Don't forget. I gave you Zack Snyder's Justice League.
This was barely better than that. I barely rated this better than that. It was rough.
Yikes.
At least have good action.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So what do we get? A 6.1, a 5.8, and a what was that one again? A 4.8.
4.8.
4.8. Nice.
Strong round.
Super scores all the way around.
Don't worry, there's a big bounce back this time.
Well, for sure.
Big bounce back this time.
Big bounce back. All right, Alex, how about you lead us off then in the next part of this video? What are you giving?
I am giving you. So I originally had to give you a different one because I was like, you kind of gave me like a meh, kind of movie. So I was like, I was in between, but I'll be nice this time. I've heard good things about it. I personally have not seen this movie. I'm going to give you a Netflix film, which is actually really recent, called Leave the World Behind. Have you seen it?
I've not seen it. I saw a bunch of people talk about it on TikTok, but I'm not.
It's considered a horror / thriller kind of movie. So
no, it's got at least one actor in it that I recognize that I like. Okay, yeah. I'll take it. Okay, Blake, you next.
No, he just gave you your movie, so now you give your movie.
Oh, I gotta go? Jeez.
Yeah.
All right, well, Blake.
I'm not getting finessed here.
I just saw this movie. I just saw it, and I knew somebody was getting assigned this film. I immediately texted you, and I had to make sure that you have not seen it. I know you haven't. The movie is called Remember Me. It's got your boy Robert Pattinson in there. Even in the description of the film, it says he's from Twilight. So you're in for a good one.
For real. All right, Alex. Real quick, we're gonna rant about the Golden Globes and how terrible Joe Coy was.
Who?
And yeah, exactly. The host of the Golden Globes, just horrible. His jokes were terrible, and then he tried to defend himself, saying, "I only had 10 days." In the middle of his monologue, he was like, "I only had 10 days. What do you expect?" And it's like, well, if you're a comedian, I would expect if you have 10 days to do a 10-minute monologue, you could come up with something a little bit funny and not just go to misogyny. So, Joe Coy sucked, was terrible, and made some terrible jokes about Barbie. And that's a problem. He needs to not do that. Clearly, he didn't watch the film or he didn't understand the film. And Alex, due to our recent video that just came out, you have your own problems that you need to look into yourself. So you need to watch Barbie, and hopefully you come away with a little bit better of a outlook than Joe Coy did.
Honestly.
Okay.
Hey, cheer up, Alex. I recently rewatched Barbie, and it still held up. So
this is Josh's top 3 movie of all time.
It is.
God. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Fine. You got me. Okay. Well, any other last comments?
I'm excited to hear Blake's reaction.
5.3 is insane. That's insane. That is just so disrespectful.
I didn't give it
disrespectful.
I gave it a 5.8.
That's just still disrespectful. Not even a 6. That's insane. Yeah. That is just...
It wasn't my cup of tea. This film was.
I think the one I gave you just now might be more of your cup of tea.
I hope it's not. I hope it's horrible. That's gonna do it for this video. As always, comment down below your thoughts on the movies we just watched, or tell Alex why he needs to have more of an open mind going into Barbie.
I don't like musicals. I'm sorry.
It's not
It's
a
not a
musical.
musical. We've said this. How
Okay.
many times do we need to go into
It's
this?
not a musical.
I heard there was a musical part of it, so I was skeptical about it.
That's not a musical. Just because it has like one dance scene doesn't make it a musical.
Yeah.
There's still 2 hours of movie. Even if it's 5 minutes, you still have an hour
Exactly.
55.
Has Ryan Gosling in it.
I never got
Still win.
I never got like a description of how long it is or or whatnot. So sorry. I'm gonna watch it.
Like the video. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one.